Alright, this is a little video on how to get a radiator out of your 2000 Lincoln Continental. The V8, sideways front wheel drive V8, 4.6. Anyway, so this is a whole pain in the butt. You got to go in, disconnect all the hoses that are connected to the radiator, and little fan plugs and stuff, and all that. And then you got, your main feed lines and stuff there. Take all those off. There's a transmission coolant line on this thing, so you got to pull that off. You'll figure it out. Start pulling all the hoses off your radiator. Take all that out of the way. Push that top hose out of the way. So where it gets tricky is you got to pull the fan. 2 bolts at the top. Where are they? One right there, and then another one down at the other end, symmetrical, and then way down there, it's just clips. So when you lift up on it, like that, it'll pop out of the clips at the bottom. And then what I did was I just pushed it against the engine out of the way. And then I slid the radiator past the condenser. Somebody must have worked on this before because there was bolts already removed or whatever. Maybe they didn't go there at all. I have no idea. But I slid the radiator down under the car and pulled it out that way. I don't think you can pull it out the back if you wanted to. And you can't pull it out the top here because this plate that latches the hood down is welded to the frame, not bolted to the frame. So then what I did was I went and pulled the bumper off. There's a couple clips right there. There's a little slide hickey here thing here. Don't know all about that. I think this radiator was replaced before, and that little notch was broke out of there by whoever did that. This side is not on a bolt, so this side just slips, the driver's side. Over here, it actually bolts back on, so you have to actually reach up underneath it from under here, and then go at this bolt. So you'll disconnect it right there, and then you'll reach up in there, right there, and reach up all the way up and get this bolt off. It's a 13 millimeter. All right, so then what you got to do is after you pull the whole bumper off, in order to slide that out under the frame, you're going to have to remove this along with those and symmetrical on the other side, because this whole bar holds up your radiator and your condenser and all that stuff. So when you lower that and you take it off, this bar, you can just let it hang. It'll just hang off. So when I did it, it was just flopping around right here. I just tied a rope to the bumper, held it up there. The easiest way to get the radiator back in is to attach the fan to it and then get a jack and put the radiator on the jack. Guide it from the top, pump the jack down here, and as it's going up, you just guide it and guide it and guide it and guide it. So once I got it up in there, I got a rope, and I toss the rope down the sides here, here, you get the idea. Put the rope in there. Tie that thing, because mind you, this bracket's going to be hanging off, and you're going to want to push it to hold everything up. So what I did was I I tied it right through there up to the top. And then once I tied it off, then I pulled the jack out from under the radiator, and then I took this bar and I pushed it back over in place and put the jack underneath that, jacked it up in place to where it was almost meeting right here, and then untied the radiator from the frame. And then it was resting on the bar like it's supposed to be, and then you'll use your jack to guide it back into the holes here. So basically that's it. I'm put this thing all back together, pop all my hoses back on. Real pain in the butt, this whole job. So give you the rundown one more time. Pop all the hoses, all the stuff in your way. Push that fan out your way. You got to have this car jacked up too, or you won't have enough room to slide it out from underneath. Push all that stuff out your way. Pull the bumper off. Go under here. Pull that bracket off. Once you pull the bracket off, just wiggle and slide that radiator past the condenser and all that out the bottom. And then when you do that, you push the radiator back up in there, and then get this bar back underneath the radiator. Bolt it all down. Brace it up however you want. I had some boards and stuff too I was bracing it up with, so I get those bolts in. Not very hard, just time consuming. And yeah, that's it. That's how you get a radiator out and get a radiator back in. Peace out.